Let's go over just a few basics for how to add HVAC components into a Revit model. So the first thing to know is that it's much easier if you're using what's called a systems template, because it's got all of the families that you're going to need loaded into it. If you do an architectural template, you may have to have a bunch of other stuff loaded in. So we're going to make sure that we're in a systems template. And for Design 330, that is what you are working in the one that I gave you. So there's a systems template. I can still put some walls in, so I'm going to do that just a little bit. And you'll notice a couple of things as it comes up. So notice in my template that I've got down here these mechanical things. So I need to make sure that when I'm in a mechanical view that I'm going to do HVAC in, let me get into here, that the discipline says mechanical. Okay, it needs to say mechanical HVAC, and then our subdiscipline is going to say HVAC. So in the one I gave you, there are only architectural views available. And so you'll need to copy them down and make an HVAC view. Okay, so to do that, you would just right click, make a copy, and then in that copy, assign the discipline. So that was something that I did that probably didn't develop for you to show you how. That's how I got these mechanical views. And mechanical views are set up to show that. So I'm going to put some walls in, and the walls are 20 foot high, so I'm just going to make some big building here. I don't really care right now, just for this demo. So there's a big building, and you'll notice from the elevations that I've got an elevation, a level 1, a level 2, and then a top. And so if I want to create a new one, I go into my right here, and I can create a similar, and let's say I'm going to put it at 18 feet. Then I've got a new one that I can call roof. I think that's how it's set up in the one you've got. But it doesn't matter. When I do HVAC, personally, for us, we're going to do all of our HVAC counting from level 1. Okay? And that's just a simple way to do it. Okay? If wherever you're going to measure from, you use that level. I'm going to always, in our project that we're doing this semester, always count from level 1. So here we go. I'm going to go back into my HVAC. Here we are. Let me go find my HVAC. Where mechanical HVAC floor plans. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is, since I'm always going to be counting from level 1, I have to be able to see the whole thing. So I need to come down to my view range and say that I'm going to look unlimited above. And depending on how much wall I want to see and everything, I can cut my offset. But the main thing is I have to be able to see up forever to be able to put my stuff in. So there we go. So now I'm in a mechanical HVAC floor plan, level 1, that I can see everything. Now I can put something in and see it. And that happens under the Systems tab. And the first thing I wanted to do is put in some equipment. And I think I have to load some. And that's under Mechanical, MEP, air side. These are air items, things to do with air. And I said to put in an air handling unit. We don't have to learn about all these HVAC things. If you go to work for an HVAC place, you'll learn all about that. We're just putting in an air handler. It's basically a blower that you can blow air across a hot element or a cold element. Okay, and the one I suggested that you use was a split system horizontal. Don't have to worry about it at all, anything about it. So I'm going to put that in, enter it, open, and there it is, and I can see it. And where do I want to put it? I want to put it on the roof, which was at 18 feet, and I'm going to set it 1 foot higher. So I'm going to make it like 19 feet high from level 1, and I'm going to put it in. And then I might have to rotate it if I want. Now, what happens is you can see that there's an in and an out. The in is called return, the out is called supply, and I want the out face down to the rest of the building. There we go. There, I've got it. I've got it in there. And if I go look at it from an elevation, where's my HVAC elevation? There it is. It's sitting way up there on the roof. Okay. My roof is sitting about a foot off the roof. So that's cool. Okay, then if I click on it, it tells me I'm 11 wide by 20 tall. It's really hard to see that. Okay, but it's the ducting is 11 wide by 20 tall on coming out 11 wide by 20 tall. So that's my next thing to do, is to put some ducting on. I said I wanted round ducting, so I have to find round. And the easiest one to put on is called taps. In other words, they'll just cut into it and fit it. And I'm going to say it's the bottom, the middle elevation is going to be the bottom of it is going to be 19 feet. So the middle of it will be 19, and it's 20 tall. So I'm going to call it the middle, I'm going to say the bottom elevation right here is going to be 19 feet. And I want it to be 20 inch. Because then it'll kind of like fit. It's going to go hook up and come out. And there it is. And it made all the adapters for me, because when I hooked it on, I found that little connector point. And I've got it all at the right levels. So let's go take a look. Yeah, look at that. And so that's okay. I could make this even a little bit higher if I wanted. I could have put it at oh yeah, because the bottom, it put the middle at 19 foot 6. So I probably wanted it closer to like 20. Okay, so since it's got all those connectors, I think I'll erase all that and put it in just to be a little bit easier. I'll put that ducting in at 20 feet. There it is. See how I found that little spot? There it goes. And this is just estimate, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But see, that looks pretty good. Okay, it may not be perfect, but it's a good estimate. So that's how I get that on there, my trunk line. And now I need some air terminals. And when I put an air terminal, there's just one in here, and it gives me 500 CFM. And that's all I said to do. Just put those in, and who cares? Okay, but I do need to, when I put it in, say where it's going to be. So in my main building, in my manufacturing, it was going to be at 11 foot, I think is what I said to put it in. And I'll just click on it somewhere. And you can figure out how to place it and where to place it based on what I gave you to do. And then if you want some in the individual buildings, you can just change them to 8 feet and put some of those in those. And we'll size these later on. That's one of the beauties of Revit. Oop. Didn't want that. That's one of the beauties of Revit. I can go fix those later on. And you can see these ones are 11 foot and these ones are 8 foot. Once they're sized, we'll connect them all next week. So there's your brief run through of the basics of adding your equipment, adding your ducting, and adding your terminals for week 10 of Design 330.